Very good morning, children. Children, in our last lecture, we were seeing about different properties, right? We had also seen about what is freezing, okay? And we had taken the example of water and ice, okay? When water is kept in the freezer, okay, then it forms what is called as ice, right? That ice is in the solid state of the water, and the temperature at which this happens is called as the freezing point of the water. Okay, children? We also saw that when ice gets heat, then it starts melting or changing into the liquid state once again. Ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. Therefore, it means that the freezing point and the melting point of water are the same. Okay, children? Likewise, each substance has a specific boiling point, which is also its condensation point, and it has a specific melting point, which is same as that of the freezing point. Okay, children? Once again, I'll repeat. The temperature at which a substance boils when heating is same as the temperature at which it condenses when it is cooled. Similarly, the temperature at which a substance freezes while cooling is the same as that of the temperature at which it melts when it is heated. Okay, children? Now, next we saw about various uses of changes in physical state. Okay, we saw the use of candles and how are they made. Okay, candles are made by melting paraffin wax. Okay, next we had seen about dry ice, that is solid carbon dioxide. Dry ice is used to make ice cream and to keep it frozen. Okay, third was liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is used in animal husbandry. Next is sand. Sand is melted to make glass, that is, sand is used for making glass. Next, metals like gold and silver are melted to make ornaments. Okay, and iron is melted to make tools. Okay, children? Next we saw about what is sublimation. Okay, and in that we had seen an activity of iodine particles. Okay, what we saw was that when iodine particles are kept inside a funnel and heat is applied to it, these iodine particles, they do not get converted into a liquid state from solid state, but instead they get converted into a gaseous state. Okay, so the change of a solid substance directly into a gas or a vapor without first changing into a liquid is what is called as sublimation. Okay, children? I repeat, the change of a solid substance directly into a gaseous or a vaporous substance without being converted into a liquid substance is called as sublimation. Means what, children? There is a conversion of solid to liquid and then to gas, right? Generally, but here in case of sublimation, the solid directly gets converted into a gas instead of converting into a liquid and then gas. Okay, children? Yes. Now, then we saw about how will we all identify the substances, right, children? For identifying any substances, we need to know its description. In scientific language, it is called as properties. Okay, then we had studied about properties of substances in detail. The first property that we had seen about was brittleness. Okay, children, substances like chalk, brick, then alum, glass, okay, even laddus, what happens when a pressure is applied on them? Yes, they all get broken into pieces, right? So such substances are said to be brittle substances, and this property is what is called as brittleness. Okay, children. Next we saw about next property is hardness. Okay, for example, if you take an iron nail, or if you take a piece of wood and you try breaking it, what will happen? It will not break, right? So this is what is called as hardness of a substance. Okay, children. Next we saw about a property called as elasticity. Okay, for that we had taken examples of a rubber band and a sponge. Okay, what you will do is you will stretch a rubber band and let it go. Okay, similarly you will press a piece of sponge and release it. What you will see? You will see that the rubber band and the sponge go back to their original shape. Okay, children. Likewise, some substances change their shape when a force is applied on them, but they return to their original shape and size when the force is removed, and such substances have a property called as elasticity. Okay, children. The next property that we saw is fluidity. Okay, for that we took a flat metal sheet of the size of a notebook. Okay, now we holded it in an angle and we had put a drop of water on it. Okay, now we just have to observe what will happen next. Next, what happens is that they flow down the slope. Okay, children. So this property of substances is called as fluidity. Okay, and the fluidity of a liquid is determined by how easily it flows. Okay, children. Next we saw about a property called as density. Between the substances of same volume, the ones with the greater density are heavier, while the one with the lower density are lighter. Okay, children. Next we saw about what is solubility. Children, here we had seen an activity of taking a glass of the water, and first you will add salt, then you will add sand in the water. Okay, what happens when salt is added? Yes, salt gets mixed with the water. What happens with respect to sand? Sand does not get mixed with the water. So the substances which dissolve in the water or which get mixed in the water are called as soluble substances, and this property is called as solubility. Okay, next transparency. Okay, now children, when we all look through a substance, there are some substances from which we can look. There are some others which we can partially look, and there are certain others from which we are not able to see anything on the other side. Right, children? So the substances from which we are able to see what is there on the other side are called as transparent substances, and this property is called as transparency. Okay, children, this is what we had learned in our last lecture. Today we'll see about what are metals. Oh, okay, children. Substances like copper, gold, iron, aluminium are called as metals. Metals are found in the form of minerals deep inside our earth. Okay, minerals from the earth's crust are processed to obtain the metal. Okay, in our daily life, metals have various important uses. Let us study the properties of the metals and its uses. Okay, first property of the metal, you can see it inside the figure, malleability. Okay, what is exactly malleability? For this, you have a small activity. Take a piece of copper or aluminium wire or a small nail. Hammer it repeatedly. What do you all observe? You all will observe that the wire becomes flat. That is, it forms a thin sheet sort of. Okay. From this, what can you conclude? You conclude that metals can be converted into sheets by hammering. This property is called as malleability. Okay, children? Yes. Next. The next property of the metals is ductility. Okay. Here also we have an activity. Hot iron is hammered and made into thin sheets. Okay. The iron can be drawn into wire. Metals can be stretched and drawn into wires. This property of the metal is called as ductility. Okay, children? Metals like silver, gold, copper, platinum can be drawn into fine wires. So they possess the property of ductility. Okay, children? Next. Electricity flows through the metals. All metals are conductors of electricity to a greater or lesser extent. Okay. Children, means what? There is electricity that flows through the metals, and all the metals are either a good conductor of electricity or a slightly good conductor of electricity, but all are prone to electricity. This property is called as electrical conductivity. Okay, children? Even when a piece of a metal is heated at one place, the whole of it becomes hot. It shows that the metals allow heat to flow through them. Okay? This property is called as thermal conductivity. Okay, children? Metals have a typical shine or luster. Every metal has a characteristic color by which it can be identified. Okay? Next. Now here, to your extreme right side, what you are seeing is an instrument, right? That instrument is called as a veena. Okay? Or a tanpura. Okay? And below you are seeing the uses of the metals. Okay? Now try this. Plug the string of a musical instrument like a tanpura or a veena, ring a bell or hit a steel box with a metal spoon. Strike a wooden table or a marble floor with a wooden stick. What you have to do is that after doing these, note the difference in the sounds produced in two cases. Okay? Children, from here we can conclude that metals produce a ringing sound, and this property of the metals is called as sonority. Okay, children, once again I'll repeat the properties of the metals. The first property of the metals was malleability. Okay, that means metals can be converted into sheets by hammering. Next property of the metals that we saw was ductility. Okay, metals can be stretched and drawn into wires. This property of them is called as ductility. Next property is electrical conductivity. Okay, that means electricity flows through all the metals, and all the metals are good conductors of electricity. The next we saw was thermal conductivity. Okay, what is that? When a piece of a metal is heated in one place, the whole of it becomes hot. Okay, this is what is called as thermal conductivity. Next we saw that metal has a luster and it has a characteristic color. Okay, next we saw about a property called as sonority of the metals. That is, metals produce a ringing sound. So this property is called as sonority of the metals. Okay, children. Next we'll see about during the rainy season or at any other time, do not touch the exposed electric wires or the metal parts. Okay, children, always remember that in the rainy season you will not touch any exposed electric wire or metal parts. Okay, children, keep all electric lamps or other appliances switched off when not in use. Okay, you have to keep all the electrical appliances and other appliances which need electricity switched off when not in use. You will not keep it open. For example, even when the TV is switched off by remote control, do not forget to put it off the main switch. Okay, it helps to save electricity besides protecting us from any possible danger. Okay, next, ask your seniors at home to check the electric wiring and fittings in your house periodically. Okay, children, now we'll just briefly revise the chapter. Solids, liquids and gases are the three states of the substances. Okay, next, the temperature of a substance, how hot or cold it is, can be measured with the help of a thermometer. Okay, children, next, heat is the cause of a change of substances. Okay, next, substances have various properties like hardness, elasticity, brittleness, fluidity, density, solubility and transparency. Okay, next, metals form a separate group of substances. Next, metals have some common properties like ductility, malleability, thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity, sonority, luster and characteristic color. Okay, children, next we'll see about science watch. Science is developing continuously. How much do we know about it? But research work goes on at the state, national and global level. if we wish to keep ourselves informed about it, we must be aware of the various happenings around us. Make newspapers your friends. Read newspapers daily. Read and collect articles on science and discuss and share them with others. Okay, children? So, this is all about chapter number 5. Thank you.